Michael Williams with the Knoxville Daily Sun. Today I went to the Hatfield and McCoy Experience. That's a brand new interactive museum they've just opened up in Pigeon Forge, featuring artifacts from the infamous Hatfield and McCoy feud that took place between 1865 all the way up to 2003. A 138-year feud that began at the end of the Civil War and didn't end until the 21st century. Can you imagine that? 138 years. Now, the fighting started out at the end of the Civil War, and the hostilities pretty well tapered off around the early 1890s. And there weren't any more skirmishes for a long time. But the feud itself didn't officially come to an end until 2003, when the two families finally sat down and brokered a deal that finally brought peace between the two families. Now, the Hatfields were West Virginians. They fought for the Confederacy. The McCoys were Union, and they lived in Kentucky. Oddly enough, the Hatfields didn't own slaves, but the McCoys did, which goes to underscore the complexities not only of the Civil War, the war between the states, but also the complexities that between the two families, the Hatfields and the McCoys, the complexities of the feud itself. Now, nobody knows how many people were killed or wounded during the war, the feud, because the two families always remained tight-lipped about that. But anyway, the museum has a lot of great artifacts in there, things from the home of the original Devil Anse Hatfield, Anderson Hatfield, who was known as Devil Anse, and all the way up to the peace treaty. They got the actual peace treaty in the museum. Now, I want to dispel a couple of myths about the two families. A lot of people seem to think that the Hatfields and McCoys were just a bunch of ignorant, inbred hillbillies, which none of that was not even close to the truth. They were very intelligent people, the hardworking people, industrious and successful. The Hatfields owned more than 7,000 acres of good timberland, and the McCoys were very successful as well and very industrious. Another myth that I'd like to dispel is the myth about the pig. There's a lot of people who believe that the feud started because of a pig that was stolen. That pig incident was just one of a number of skirmishes between the two families. The feud actually started at the end of the Civil War, and the pig theft didn't come along till later. Now, the importance of the pig. In those days, food in the mountains was kind of scarce. You had to hunt for your own food or raise it. And a pig represented a family's food for an entire winter. It also represented their oil to light their lamps with. So without that pig, a family could easily starve. So it was very significant, the theft of the pig. But nobody died because of that pig. It resulted in a court battle, which really didn't resolve anything. But anyway, the feud was quite notorious. A lot of good people were hurt and killed. And it's a very compelling story. Now, for those of you who would like to do some advertising, the Knoxville Daily Sun has some great advertisement rates. We have over 100,000 dedicated readers each month, and we've had more than 500,000 people visit our website in the past 30 days. So give Janine Payne a call, and you can check us out on our website, knoxvilledailysun.com. But anyway, this is the Hatfield and McCoy Experience. Thanks for watching. Today I'm at the Hatfield and McCoy Experience. It's a brand new museum that just opened up in Pigeon Forge. It's got all kinds of artifacts about the famous feud between the Hatfields and the McCoys. So let's go inside and see what kind of artifacts they got there. All right, so you are Jack Hatfield, and you're a descendant of Devil Anse McCoy, is that right?
Nope, Devil Anse Hatfield.
I'm sorry, Hatfield. Don't want to get that started.
That's all right, yeah, I'm the third great grandson of Devil Anse Hatfield.
Okay, and his real name was Anderson Hatfield.
William Anderson Hatfield was his real name. His nickname was coined by several different versions of the stories out there, but I like the one about his mother giving him his nickname.
Okay. Yeah, I remember one story about him that he would sometimes go into the forest and come out with a pet bear. Was that true?
Yes. Yeah, he had 3 pet bears on the property. We have photos and things of them here people could see when they visit the museum. Yeah, he had 3 pet bears. We don't really know their names, but we decided to name them Rebel, Vengeance, and Justice. So
Okay.
that's what we decided to name them. So, and you can buy their candy bars out here in the gift shop.
Okay. And you've written 3 books.
3, yeah.
An
I've
American
republished 2.
Vendetta, Eating with the Hatfields, and Devil's Brigade.
Yep.
Now, I've got Eating with the Hatfields.
Okay.
And it's got a lot of recipes in there that you can still use to this day. They
Yeah.
translated very well. There was only one that I would be a little leery of using. That's the one for how to make window cleaner.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to talk about the fried rattlesnake.
All right, there's 2 then.
Because the first step is going out and catching a rattlesnake.
without getting bit. Right. That's the
right,
challenge.
Right.
Yeah, I remember the window cleaner was 1/2 kerosene and 1/2 water. I don't know about putting kerosene on a window.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's how they did it back in the days. You know, it may not work now, but I tried to keep the recipes as authentic and true as I could. But yeah, you got a point on that. Maybe we can replace it with moonshine in this area. I don't know.
That would work if they don't drink it before they put it on the windows.
Yeah. We can substitute that with moonshine. We're still good.
Okay. So tell me about the museum. What are these artifacts here?
Well, these are a lot of artifacts that were either passed down through the family, through the years, or they are my collection of memorabilia that I've collected over my lifetime. And then a lot of things, especially like this cabinet you're looking at here, the Civil War cabinet, we did a lot of excavation on the home place property in West Virginia. Even the Diggers TV show even started, well, they're the ones that gave us the idea and started it. And we just continued digging, years and years and years of digging. And we have pulled up a lot of artifacts and shards from our family's histories past. And between that and people donating, and it's just a huge collection that's been able to come together.
Now, what is this group photo here?
This photo is actually an annual meeting of the Confederate encampment of West Virginia long after the Civil War, and Devil Anse is here front and center in it, right here with his son Tennis beside him on the right.
Did you say tennis?
Tennis was his youngest son.
Just like the sport.
Yeah, tennis, yeah.
And Devil Anse was a Confederate.
He was a Confederate soldier, which is an interesting story. You learn why he chose to fight for the Confederacy, along with what life was like in the Tug Valley, right on the state border of West Virginia and Kentucky, newly formed during that Civil War battles, and which stemmed into the feud.
Okay. Devil Anse Hatfield. McCoy's firearms. Now, the feud actually got started because of the Civil War, in part.
Yes. Yep.
That was
correct.
the first skirmish.
Yes, with Asa Harmon McCoy.
Newspaper article of Devil Anse McCoy.
Yeah, so these are, I call these the Devil's Keepsakes. These were actually in his closet.
All these artifacts.
These coins here.
Oh, okay.
They were dug up where we think the closet was of the bedroom during the house when it burned.
Oh, okay.
And it had a few things in there, including this belt buckle of his from the Civil War, and then those coins, things like that.
Okay. And this is a commemorative rifle. This one
Correct.
didn't actually see any action at the feud, did it?
No. I have one that did, but no. This one is a commemorative rifle made in honor of the peace treaty that was done in 2003 with Ron McCoy, Rio Hatfield, Bo McCoy in Pike County, Kentucky.
So the feud actually started in what year?
1862, I think, might have been the first date when Asa Harmon was killed. Don't quote me on that date, but it's 1865. There we go. 1865.
And it unofficially ended around, the hostilities pretty much ended about what year?
About 1890, when the Supreme Court ruled an expanded extradition in the country because of the feud. That was kind of the last large event, which was the hanging of Cotton Top Mounts Hatfield at the time.
Now, Cotton Top, wasn't he mentally challenged?
He was. Yeah, there's several theories on him. But yeah, that's what we know, is that he was mentally handicapped, and they kind of, I guess, utilized that for their situation. Yeah, these are the pearls from Polly, Justice Reverend Anderson Hatfield, his wife Polly. These are her pearls.
Oh, okay.
Her daughter's bracelet and things.
And there is Devil Anse.
Yeah, and my grandmother Levice, his wife. I thought those were really cool. Mardi Gras coins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and here's, I don't know if you noticed this, these are penicillin bottle and salve bottle from where they treated gunshots on the property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was actually the salve bottle we erected here. And I tried to get replicas for it, but I couldn't get them. So these antiques down here, I was trying to match that, but it didn't work. But this is the real penicillin bottles.
And tell me about this hat here.
That one is a commemorative hat for the miniseries that the History Channel did.
The one starring Kevin Costner?
Yeah, where he played my grandfather, Devil Anse.
And that ice bucket, is that an actual?
That is from Floyd Hatfield's cabin. Floyd was the cousin of Devil Anse who was involved in the hog trial.
Oh,
And
okay.
behind you is his 1800s truck from his cabin.
Oh wow. But tell me about these mason jars down here.
Well, the mason jars are examples for the shards of the mason jars we actually pulled up. I was able to find the exact jars from the same mold that these were even made from based on the serial numbers, which was awesome. And this oil lamp was from the family homestead along with the feet of the coal stove from the family home that burned down in 1932.
Oh, that was Devil Anse's home? That burned
Yeah,
down?
this one here. You can see the moat he built around the property there,
Yeah.
the brick wall.
Okay.
Yeah, so like here's a photo up here. You probably get a better shot of it.
So he actually built a moat around his house to protect him?
Yeah, and this at one time was a drawbridge, and then it was cemented in later on. And this home burned down in 1932, and now we have a ranch home there. And that
And it's
home
still
place,
surrounded by the moat?
Oh yeah. I had to repair it after the floods that happened last year.
Oh, wow.
It was about $40,000 for a repair. But we have our little museum and gift shop there on the property, the historic property. We're going to be adding a historic walking tour and things like that on the property. And this is my grandfather's axe head we brought up from the home fire.
You know, what are these two hammers here?
Those are 1800s gavels from court for kind of just referencing the hog trial.
Oh, okay.
So the trunk here is from Floyd's home.
Hog trial.
Yeah, he was the Hatfield involved in the hog trial with Randall McCoy.
You know, people make jokes about the importance of that hog, but what people don't realize was in those days a hog represented a family's food for the winter.
Yeah, and oil for your lamps, and things were utilized much different back then. And people don't understand that. But yep, you're right on point.
Look at the rattlesnakes, my God. Was the area up in there pretty infested with rattlesnakes?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, it still is.
And this is a commemorative gun here, right?
That is a commemorative gun in honor of the Pawpaw tree shooting incident that happened where the three McCoy boys were tied to trees and father's banjo.
Your grandfather, what was his name?
John Jr. I put a sign back there for him with his photo on it. Hopefully he'd be proud of it. He played a lot of songs for me on this banjo as a kid. One in particular about a donkey. I don't know if you know that one, but I can't remember the name of it. And this was his mandolin. He also loved to play, and his guitar, which I wish I had his guitar, but my brother has that. And this is the peace treaty.
This is the one that was signed in 2003. So so the feud, which started at around 1862, didn't end for 41 years. The hostility stopped in the 90s.
Yeah,
1890s.
1890s after the Supreme Court ruling. and the hanging of Cotton Top.
I said 43 years. I might need to do better math. 143 years.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I knew what you meant.
My math was very much off. See, that's why I'm not an accountant.
Why, what now?
That's why I'm not an accountant.
Oh, well, me either.
I can't add.
You know, some people expect me to have everything exactly right, but I can't. It's too much.
Now, is this
Too much history.
the curtain behind here? Is that?
These are actually quilts that were made by, this one was made by McCoy, this one was made by a Hatfield relative.
Okay.
They're from the early 1920s.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a few quilts floating around here that we've got displayed.
So, in all, how many battles took place between the Hatfields and McCoys?
Oh my gosh, how many clashes happened?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know the exact amount, because the problem too that happened is you had a lot of people that had loyalties to either side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either to the Hatfield side or the McCoy side. So even aside from the family skirmishes, you had their employees and other people out, you know, fighting as well over the situation with animosities. So it was, you can't even count the number, to be honest with you.
So, what was the final death toll? Does anybody know?
Well, Randall McCoy unfortunately lost quite a few children in that. On the Hatfield side, Devil Anse never lost any children to the feud. He lost 2 to Moonshine, a moonshine shootout with the Italians.
Wow.
And then on the Hatfield side, we lost Jim Vance, which was Devil Anse's uncle, during the feud.
Anybody else other than Cotton who was hanged?
Well, Ellison, of course, who was attacked at the election day, which was a huge turning point in the whole feud. This right here is the one thing I don't want to film.
Oh, okay.
That's too much wine. I feel like I'm a target with
Ah,
that.
I know who you're talking about. There was a line Kevin Costner uttered in the movie, talking about Jim Vance, when he said, "I always figured somebody was going to kill him. I just thought it would be me." Did he really say that in real life?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay.
Hollywood took a lot of liberties.
Oh, I'm sure they did. So, a scale of 1 to 10, how accurate would you say that miniseries was?
Maybe a 7.
That's not too bad.
No.
Not for
It wasn't
Hollywood.
horrible. I've watched others that are more like a 2. So I'll give them credit where credit's due. They did a good job, but they had Hollywood in there.
And I don't see the need of that. I mean, the feud itself was pretty epic. I don't see
Yeah.
the need
Agreed.
to embellish it any.
Agreed. Well, a lot of it, they left a lot of stuff out too. A lot of things that happened. So, which shocked me because, I mean, if they spent 6 hours making the story, why wouldn't they add another hour or 2 on there
Yeah.
to, you know, tell the rest of the story, you know? Like they left out the Supreme Court case, for example. They downplayed a lot of the things like the land dispute, you know, things like that, and played up, you know, of course, the hog trial and all that stuff, right? So right here in this photo, you've got Devil Anse in the middle there, sitting down, holding the kids. Behind him on the right in that brim hat is my grandfather, Robert E. Lee Hatfield. He's my great-grandfather, or great-great. And then my great-grandfather, John Sr., the one's banjo, is on his knee there. His father's on his knee.
So, how many, you never did give me a figure, how many Hatfields and how many McCoys died during the feud?
I would have to literally sit down and count, to be honest with you. On the Hatfield side, you had Jim Vance,
Okay.
Ellison, and Cotton Top. And then, you know, there was, like I said, there were some characters like the one they called Skunk.
Right.
You know, like he wasn't technically a family member, you know what I mean? So a lot of people forget about those characters.
You know, they kind of make the Hatfields and McCoys appear to be ignorant people, but the truth is They were somewhat wealthy considering they
Very
owned,
for the time.
they owned quite a bit of land. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He had over 5,000 acres. We know. I think it was maybe around 7,000 in total that he had at one point. But he was always willing and dealing, and so I mean, he was. I mean, think about it, this. He was so smart, right? So he got the land, lumbered it, and then turned around and sold it to the coal mine companies and the railways, and then ended up becoming and helping their surveyors, being a consultant, showing them where to put the rails and where to find the coal and all that. So he tripled down on his investment, you know. And you know, when you're coming around the bend and people are living literally in tin shacks in the middle of Appalachia, and you come around the bend, seeing this huge house around the corner with a moat and a drawbridge. I mean, yeah, they definitely had some money at the time.
Oh yeah.
We don't now, but they did at the time.
Okay. So is the museum open now?
Yep, we are open daily from 10 to 8. And you can purchase tickets online or here in person, of course. And it's all inclusive, so it includes the audio tour, it includes the scavenger hunt, and the Team Hatfield, Team McCoy quiz. Like all that's included in there,
Okay.
all in one price. And this here will be like a seasonal.
Now you said you have a website that people can
Yep.
buy tickets. What's that website?
Hatfield McCoy Experience.com. They can go to that and find all the information they need to know and purchase tickets.
And you got two museums, right? One here and one in
So
Kentucky.
this one here is a pure, you know, interactive experience museum. The one in West Virginia is Devil Anse's home place, so our family homestead. And you can go and walk on the bridge that was the drawbridge, see the moat, visit, you know, the property where we made our moonshine, you know, drink water from the well, all that good stuff, and visit our, you know, our little museum exhibit that we have there as well in West Virginia.
Okay. So the original house that Devil Anse lived in is still in the family?
The homestead is. The house itself burned in 1932.
Right. The homestead.
Now, one of our goals is to rebuild that home.
Okay. And is that home open to, well, the homestead?
Yes, it is.
When you say
open.
homestead, what do you
The property.
Okay.
Yeah, on the property we have, of course, a current home there today that, you know, we live in. That's family that we own. And then we have a building next to it that we installed, which houses a little museum area and the gift shop, and you know, there's a place for the trail riders to sit and eat and all that because it's in the middle of the Hatfield McCoy Trail system.
Okay. All right.